All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dow. Hey, is this world not going stark raving mad or crazy nowadays? I mean, with the midst of everything that is going on. Now, I think the one thing I am enjoying is I'm enjoying watching these gas prices fall, and they're plummeting hard. I spoke about it last night, and I was on an interview with someone last night as well. And they wanted me to call in to give my take on exactly what was going on with the oil and various other things. And of course, you know I'm going to continue to keep playing this one-string banjo. Listen, I want all of you, and notice this is just my desire because I dare not presume or be presumptuous to try to tell any of you anything. That's not the reason why I'm here. I'm here to give information, and hopefully that you would consider what I'm saying, take the information, run with it, and that it would end up benefiting you. Listen, our country has a spending problem. Really. It is a debt-based system. We haven't been a credit-based system since the Depression. And, excuse me. And it's a system that has to survive and live, and it depends and it banks on you living on credit. So what do? Listen, because as soon as you get out there and you start owing all these lenders and all these people, and they're continuing to keep making these extraordinary amount of profits on interest, and the interest rates, which, tell you the truth, according to the economy and the way things are going and the printing of money, I'm digressing for a second. The only way we're actually going to balance this budget, we have to raise interest rates. And you think this coronavirus shutdown is something? This coronavirus shutdown is really nothing compared to what the pain that we should be feeling as a country if we're really truly ever going to get on track. And I'm talking about some pain for about 10 plus years with the amount of debt that's out there. So they do have an alternative game plan. And I don't think they're ever thinking about balancing the budget of America because it's just too extraordinary. There is something else. There's some type of end game scenario that they're working on. But you, back to what I was speaking, you, all of you, you need to focus on preserving yourself, especially if you're a leader in the home, and the people who you are surrounded by. Listen, you know, most of us, we're in positions that we're in, and leaders of our communities, leaders of our homes, leaders in different places, because we have proven some way, somehow, to be reliable leaders that would literally have the answers for people to help them to survive, to help them to stay alive, to help them to be preserved during crises like this. And everybody out there just simply don't have a genuine care for the next person. Some do, very few, very, very few. But we ourselves, we have got to starve this beast system. We literally have to starve this system. And the solution is what I've always said it was, is that even if you have a home and you live in the city, or you live in a housing community and you have a home, or even if you're, in a condominium or somewhere out in these population centers, you should be looking anywhere from 2 to 3 acres of land out in the country. You should either put a trailer or build a cabin or build a little small home for you and your family as a little small city, and I'm just going to use that term, a refuge. You should possibly have somebody there or another family, so you can have 2 of you there, to be reliable and trustworthy, that you can trust them with goods and services, or your goods and your lands and whatever things that you own. And y'all should try to come together, because when this thing finally goes up, when the balloon really goes up, man, finding people that you can trust is going to be hard. Because I'm looking at this virus thing right here, and I've received so many phone calls from people I've never even heard of before, never even known, and so many messages, and so many people contacting the ministry, thanking me for the information that I've given them over the years, because these people are the ones that literally have applied what I've said. They've done it. And many of them that called it, not even in the ministry, and just told me thank you. Just thank you. And I say you're welcome. But really thank yourself for having the ears to be able to hear, the eyes to see, and the heart to be able to discern. And I tell you, when you know you've got food storage, when you know you have an abundant supply of water, you have access to water, you've learned things, you've known things that's going to preserve you and the family, and mainly the ones out there who are singing a tune because they got out of debt and they starving this beast system by not living on debt. You wouldn't believe the freedom and the liberty. The freedom and the liberty. I mean, just the other day, I received in the mail a $1,000 offering from someone that has never, ever, ever even contributed to the ministry. They've been listening to me on YouTube for over 10 years. And they said, I just wanted to send you this just to tell you thank you. I don't believe in all this religion stuff and all this other stuff. But you know what? It was laid upon my heart to send this to you to say thank you, because the wisdom that you've given us, Pastor Dow, and what you preserved us from, just from this little test right here, it's priceless. You can't even put a price on it. So rather than just saying thank you, I wanted to show you my gratitude by giving you some of the abundant supply of my substance that I've had just by following your direction, your life principles. And I tell you, I sit there, I held that letter, I kind of shook my head in a good way. Tears started welling up. Man, I was like, you see, that is the reason why we're here. That is the sole purpose and the sole reason why we are here. And if you ever get into a situation where you're dependent on this world, this government, or dependent on anybody that you don't have a good, trustworthy witness from, man, it's going to be bad for you. Now, I'm getting reports that people are being evicted from their homes. They don't care what the government says. They don't care whatever. Hey, I don't care what the government says. I need money. It's my house. It's my property. Blah, blah, blah. And they're making things difficult for people. It's just sad. It's sad. And you know, we can really truly tell what is the real true heart of Americans when a crisis is here, when a crisis is around. People should be joining together. People should be trying to do everything they can to comfort one another. This is what they should be doing. But I know I digressed a lot here, but mainly what I'm saying is try not to go out there and get in debt no more than you can pay off that debt in a month. What I mean is if you go out here and you get like in $5,000 worth of debt, make sure that you have $5,000 you can put your hands to that at any given time you want. You can pay that off in that month. Now that's being wise. If you're going to go out here and get $20,000 in debt, make sure you have $20,000 somewhere that if necessary, you need to pay that thing off, because you do not want to be under the control and under the thumb and depending on the benevolence of any of these businesses out here, any of these credit card companies, any of these banks or institutions at all. You don't want to be under their thumb. So get you a little homestead. Get some building books. Read them. Watch some people out there building. Find a block mason. Find some people who know about concrete. Take some time off. Since you got time off right now, go out and educate yourself and watch these people build. Learn something. And then invest in yourself, because that's what you'll be doing. And then build as you go. And if you're able to build as you go, that means you own it. Is that making sense? It's just the simplest principles that there are in the world. The borrower is a servant to the lender. The borrower is a slave to the lender. So do not go out there and get in more debt that you cannot pay off in a month. It's not going to bode well for you. All right? That's just my advice. That's just my advice. I'm just trying to do what I can to help people. You want to know a little bit more about this? When I get home, I'll put in the description, or you can go back to the videos previous to this. I have a Patreon channel. I talk about preparedness. We talk about Jesus. We talk about survival. We talk about everything. Guns, self-preservation, and you name it, we talk about it. And not only do we talk about it, we be about it, but we give you direction. Teaching videos, learning videos. Just all kinds of stuff over there. And just try your best to make sure that you wrestle against that spirit that comes inside of a man that doesn't want to change. Change, nobody really truly wants to do it because we're comfortable in the place that we're in right now. But you know what? It's necessary, because I'm telling you, you can change the man or the woman you are simply by changing your mind and adopting a new philosophy that is better than the person you are, and living after that principle. And pretty soon it becomes your nature, and you will be a changed person, and you'll have a hell of a lot more peace in this world. Not unless you're addicted to pain. If you like pain and suffering, stay the way you are. But I definitely wouldn't advise it.